Former NSA contractor Edward Snowden says he is not under the control of the Russian government and hasn't given Russia any intelligence documents. Snowden also talked with NBC about the toll on American privacy from the U.S. government's surveillance program.
CBS News national security analyst Juan Zarate served under President George W. Bush. He's in Washington. Juan, good morning.
Good morning, Charlie.
Edward Snowden, Glenn Greenwald, and others make this point that there has been no damage to the United States and to any person. Has there? Are they telling the truth when they make that point?
I don't think they are, and I think they're ignoring the evidence. I think officials from the intelligence community have made very clear that the terrorists have changed the way that they're communicating. The silence in some ways is deafening. You all have also had very important damage to our alliances and relationships with Germany and Brazil. We know that there are going to be billions of dollars spent on re-engineering because the Chinese and Russians have started to look at these documents and are engineering around them. And there's been significant damage to the private sector. The Silicon Valley is affected by all this. So to suggest that there is no evidence of damage is just to ignore the facts.
Juan, Secretary of State John Kerry on our air yesterday called him a traitor. Edward Snowden said last night he believes he's a patriot. He says also that he's serving his government because in the wake of his disclosures, all three branches of government have in fact made reforms. Does he make a point?
Well, he does have a point that he has sparked a debate in terms of the limits of these capabilities, what those limits should look like, and there have been some reforms. But I would argue that to spark that debate by stealing thousands of documents, the majority of which have nothing to do with purported domestic spying, is probably not the right way of doing it, and certainly not stealing them and leaving for Hong Kong and then Moscow.
He says he wants to come home. Are you aware of any negotiations to bring him back to the United States?
Well, he clearly has a legal team. They're going to be in discussions with the Department of Justice. I think it's going to be very hard to see a clemency deal at this stage, at least, Charlie, because in part the government doesn't quite know what documents are still out there and what will be released. There's also still a lingering question of collusion. Has he worked with any intelligence services? He seems to say no, but I think there are those in the U.S. government who have their suspicions.
Juan, thank you.